Hi, my name is Dylan. We're at Skyline CrossFit and we're going to go over the tire flip. So first thing, you want to warm up posterior chain. So some sumo deadlift high pulls maybe with, or some sumo deadlifts with a kettlebell or a barbell. Really warm up that, maybe some hip extensions and some back extensions on the GHD. Make sure you're high dynamic warm up and really warm up and engage that posterior chain before you start on the tire. This tire right here is about 175 pounds. It's light. This is a light tire, but it's a nice size tire to practice on before you move on to the heavy ones. So for Haley, what she's going to do is she's going to set her feet. Depending on the height of the tire, if the tire is really low to the ground, you're going to go a little bit more sumo stance. If the tire is a little bit higher, you can bring the feet a little bit more closer underneath the hips. So depending on the height of the tire. For this one, she can go a little wider than her shoulders. She's going to be, there, she'll be a little bit off the tire. So you want to be off the tire so we can kind of lean into it. She's going to set herself up. Now from here, what I want to see is hips are below the shoulder. And all she's going to do is she's going to extend the hip to that position and then drop it. And what you want to do is I want to see that a couple of times, making sure that hip doesn't go above the shoulder. So she drives the hips towards the tire to full extension and then drop it. So once that is completed, now all we're going to add is the hip extension. So you're extending, you'll step, getting that leg underneath the tire, and then you'll kick with the back leg. So it's extend, step, kick that top leg over, and then we're gonna get the hands underneath it, okay? So extension, step, kick. You can bring it all the way up. So one more time. Extension, kick, okay? So, a couple of faults you're gonna see is when the person gets the tire, go ahead and get it to extension where you're about to flip it over. They'll get it to extension and then they'll put the hands on top. Don't ever do that. Especially with a heavy tire, you're taking all your safety away. Okay, so now when you get to a heavier tire, you're gonna sometimes need to pause after the extension. So when she picks it up, she's gonna get her leg underneath it with that step there. Now you can pause here. So she's good here. What she can do is she can get her hands a little bit farther underneath and she's gonna throw her hips and her arms into the tire at the same time to get it up. So it doesn't have to be one fluid motion. I prefer flipping tires with one fluid motion from the ground, keeping that tire moving. But as it gets heavier, sometimes you don't have that option. You just sneak that foot underneath, and then you can kind of throw that hip and arms at the same time. Here, bump it up, and we can get underneath it from there. And then the last one is for safety reasons. 175, you don't really want to go any lighter than that. This is supposed to be more of a strength power movement, not an aerobic movement. So you want the athlete to be struggling and really working on getting that explosive through the hips. But as we do move heavier to the higher weights, so we have up to 900 pounds, you don't want to ever save a tire. So if a tire is coming back, so you get it up and it starts to come back towards you, you just want to step out of the way of the tire. Don't let it come back on top of you. Let it go. And that would be the safety concern when I would talk about with tire flips. And that is the tire flip.